Hey everyone. If you're going to be locked up inside here for a little bit, we're probably going to be relying on our Wi-Fi a lot more. I know with kids home from school and me working from home, we certainly are. So I thought right now would be a good time to cover some home Wi-Fi tips that don't require you to go out and buy any fancy new equipment to make sure that you're getting the most out of your home network during these times. First tip I want to talk about is where you should place your router. So your router is what broadcasts the Wi-Fi for your entire home. Ideally, you'll want to put it at a jack that's nearest the center point of your home. This is because Wi-Fi is a lot like a bubble. It's about the size of your home, but if you have it off-centered, you might be missing some places and getting some dead zones. If you do have dead zones, the best way to try and fix it is to try and slide that router over to the areas that you do have dead zones. Now, if you're unable to cover your entire home and get all of those dead zones gone, try and focus on making sure you have Wi-Fi where you're going to rely on it the most. Once you've settled on a room for your Wi-Fi, try and put it somewhere higher in the room rather than lower. Putting it on the floor is less than optimal. Finally, open areas in that room are best. We want to keep things away from those antennas. Which brings me to my next point, how you should decorate your router. Please don't decorate your router. There's lots of great ideas on Pinterest and going around Facebook of ways to cover up your routers, which I get. It's not the most attractive thing in the world. However, those antennas are sending out your Wi-Fi signal, and blocking them with a basket or some kind of covering completely ruins your signal. Think of Wi-Fi as a sound wave. They're a lot the same. Think of using your voice in a room and how it can transfer through a wall. It goes through the wall, but it gets a lot quieter as it does. Wi-Fi works the exact same way, so every time it has to go through a barrier, it gets a little bit weaker. Now what happens if you put a basket or something covering those antennas? Well, your signal immediately gets weaker. It's a lot like putting your hand over your mouth and then trying to talk to somebody in the other room. How should you troubleshoot your router? This is pretty easy. A lot of Wi-Fi issues are buffering, getting devices disconnected, or having dead zones come and go or new ones showing up. The first thing that we want to try and do to troubleshoot any of these issues is to power cycle your router. Power cycling is just a really fancy way of saying unplug it, wait 30 seconds, then plug it back in. If that doesn't work, the other thing you can try doing is power cycling your modem. After you've power cycled your router or your modem, if you still are having issues, that would be a good time to call our support center. Don't worry, I'll show you that number at the end. Finally, the last tip I have today is to make sure you're taking advantage of 2.4 and 5.0 gigahertz radios on your router if you have them. You might notice on your Wi-Fi that you have your router name and then the same one with 5.0 after it. That's what this is about. So the two different radios, 2.4 and 5.0, are a lot like the radios that we're used to, AM and FM radio. 2.4 is a lot like AM radio. It can travel great distances, but the quality isn't that great. Even when you're near the radio, it can still be a little bit staticky. 5.0 is a lot like FM radio. It has great sound quality, but it can't go that far. Anybody that's driven across the Palmer Flats knows that FM radio gets real staticky once you get around the mountain there. So how do we take advantage of this with our Wi-Fi at home? For your 5.0, you want to use devices that are near the router and are not going to be moving around. A TV or your Roku, Chromecast, these are great options to use on the 5.0 because they need high speed and they're not going to move far away. Good options for 2.4 are most other devices, especially your smartphones. Your smartphones tend to be moving around the house. It might even be going into your yard or your garage, and you're going to want to be able to take advantage of the range that 2.4 offers. Other devices that use low amounts of bandwidth, like video doorbells or smart thermostats, Alexas, those are great to put on 2.4 because they don't need all the speed that 5.0 can use. So let's free that up for other things like your TV. I hope these tips were helpful for you, and if you get stuck at any point or just need other help with your Wi-Fi or internet or anything else that we can help you with, give our support center a call. We're 745-6821, and we have live local support 24/7. Thank you so much, and I hope you're having a great day.